Hello all and welcome to a brand new Parry's Pickups. Thanks very much for joining us today. We're going to talk about mostly handheld games this week. Still, we're saving Nintendo Switch till next time. I'm hopefully going to be able to record some gameplay footage for that. As you saw last week, unfortunately I couldn't get the setup sorted out to record the footage of the last game, so I used some YouTube trailers, and even that was a bit iffy because I'm finding it's increasingly difficult to actually use these YouTube downloaders. So if anyone can recommend a really good one to me that they use, because it just weren't working. I maybe get one out of it and then it just stopped working, and then I downloaded something and it installed some sort of software, so I get these great little celebrity gossip ads popping up in the corner of my computer at the minute. So yeah, anyway, so we're not going to have any gameplay footage in this week's episode. This is just a quick one just to talk about my recent pickups, because if I don't talk about them, I'll just, they'll get pushed to the side and we'll never mention them. So we're going to start off with, well, why not with Dragon Ball Z? Dragon Ball Z, fantastic franchise. I'm a big fan of the Dragon Ball franchise, and you may have seen recently I unboxed Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse 2 Special Edition, which is absolutely fantastic. Do recommend it if you can find it cheap. But I saw this in Cash Converters, I think, or Cash Generator, one of them, and it was, I forget how much it was, about £7, £6 to £7, I can't remember now. It's Dragon Ball Z Goku Densetsu, and what this is it's a card-based RPG. So you travel around an overhead map, you've got your kind of cute style characters, you have so many moves, each card you select gives you so many spaces to move, like a board game for instance, and then your goal is to move towards the events on the map. The events are usually fights with certain characters. This starts off right at the beginning of the Saiyan saga, so again it's one of those Dragon Ball Z games that retread the same story as nearly every other Dragon Ball Z game does. But here what you've got is quite a unique turn-based fighting system, which works with cards. It's reasonably complex, and I wouldn't say the tutorial is the most innovative, but saying that, it actually does its job reasonably well and does nicely go over some things and allows you to put them in practice. But with the amount of depth there is to this card battling system in here, it's a little bit difficult to get your head around. So don't expect any fast-paced action in this. This is all about strategy and all about understanding the rules of the card game inside. But it's colourful and it's well put together. I've not spent enough time with it to say if the card game has got the appropriate depth. It seems to, but I think this game definitely needs a little bit more time before I can give it a fair judgment. But it's a Dragon Ball Z game and I'm a bit of a sucker for these, so I picked it up. And same story with Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi Tag Team, which, initially I used to have a Dragon Ball Z fighting game on the PSP, and you know what I'm like with my fighting games. Now I wish I'd hung on to it. I actually sold it because basically when I was culling my games collection back in the day, I didn't think it was much cop. It was like a stripped down version of Budokai, and Budokai itself is a fairly simplistic fighting game. At least the first two. The third one I think added enough, and that one really does stand out as a great game. But this is Tenkaichi. This isn't Budokai, so this is the camera is positioned behind the character, and yeah, it actually plays pretty well. I enjoyed it, but what it promises is tag team action, and well, yes, I ended up in a battle where it was Goku and Piccolo. I didn't feel like I actually had control over Piccolo, and the game kind of gave me the idea that I'd be able to switch between the characters, and there seemed to be a certain level of strategy to using particular characters to do certain things. For example, again we're back to the beginning of the Dragon Ball Z saga, so back to Raditz appearing, and that scene where Goku and Piccolo fight Raditz, which of course ends with Goku dying, as which isn't, I think it's far too late to say a spoiler. But yeah, the idea is, you meant to, as Goku, hold Raditz and let Piccolo use his special beam cannon on him. But as the fight went on, that never happened. Goku beat Raditz, we moved on to the next bit. Yet it was sort of hinting that you could have this extra control and be able to recreate these moments. And that appeared actually not to happen within the actual 3D arena which you fight in, but on the overhead map, because in this game, like the Goku Densetsu, you travel around an overhead map going to the next part of the game. You'll see Raditz, say, fly towards him, you'll have the battle. So it said that all this sort of happened on the overhead map, all this sort of event-based gameplay where it was meant to play out like it does in the anime. And I didn't see that. I don't know why that was. So maybe I did something wrong there or missed out on something. But anyway, as it stands, as a fighting game, as a Tenkaichi game, this is a really well put together little game. And if maybe you didn't quite enjoy the Shin Budokai series because it was a little bit basic, then this is actually a good Dragon Ball Z PSP fighting game to pick up. I'd like to try Shin Budokai 2 at some point, see if that was an improvement on the original. I've kind of got into the habit of collecting Dragon Ball Z games, but don't know whether I'm going to go back and get more than one for the PSP. I may just stick with this one for now, but not a priority in the future. We'll see. And that game also usually quite expensive, it would seem, on eBay, but I found a seller who was selling it very reasonable, around a tenner, which was pretty good for what was, I think, a later release. Next up we have Resident Evil Biohazard, or Resident Evil 7 as it is known. And this is the gold edition. I waited for this to come out because basically I put off getting it because there was a lot of other games coming out at the time when this came out, and I wasn't quite sure if I'd like the new gameplay style. In fact, playing the demo, I was like, this is a little bit too full on and intense for me. I'm not sure if I'm going to enjoy it, but it really did offer something different. I was really impressed with how the game played, so inevitably I was going to pick it up some point. And this was actually a gift from my girlfriend for Christmas, and really great gift to receive, really happy to get it, and looking forward to playing a bit more of it. I haven't played a lot yet. I haven't played any more really than what I played in the demo of Resident Evil 7. But it's a fantastic looking game, it's got fantastic atmosphere, great control, really is genuinely scary, and yeah, I look forward to properly getting stuck into this and all its add-on content as well. And lastly, we go back to the DS for this last one. That's Mr.Driller, Drill Spirits. This was in CX for around about £3, £3.50, I can't remember exactly. But it's a great handheld version of Mr.Driller. Similar to the Mr.Driller game I've got on the Dreamcast. So it's, to me, it seemed like basically the same thing, but this is a portable version. And for those who don't know what Mr.Driller is, it's a game where you have to dig downwards, but you have to be careful to avoid the falling blocks. As you dig down, you kind of dislodge other blocks which could potentially fall on you and crush you, so you've got to dodge them as you dig down. You've also got to keep check of your oxygen levels as well, and the idea is to dig as far down as you can. So, nice version of the game, lovely presentation, really happy to have that at a very affordable price. And that's all we got for you this week, but I hope you've enjoyed that. Just to, just trying to a quick update basically of what I've picked up lately. Still very much been enjoying the Switch and Mario Odyssey, and what I hope to do is, because of the portability of the Switch and the little docking station for it and everything, we should be able to get some gameplay footage of that for next time. So thanks very much for checking out the video. I look very much forward to talking to you again sometime soon, and for now, game on.